r/AskReddit. What did the popular kid at your school do to go from cool to an absolute outcast? There was a guy that was pretty popular. He got really drunk at a party and totally didn't know where he was. He pulled down his pants, squatted and totally started to poop. He moved away immediately. He was a senior and I was in 8th grade. That was well over 25 years ago. Well, he friended me on Facebook a couple months ago and I kinda recognized him. I racked my brain and it came to me. The guy who pooped at the party. Poor guy. Sometimes when I'm pooping at home in my own bathroom I think, what if I'm delusional and I'm really somewhere else? What if I fell asleep at work and I'm dreaming and pooping in my chair? What if I wake up and there's poop everywhere? It haunts me. You are not alone. I've had the same awful thought. I think it's because I have had so many dreams where I am peeing or pooping and it's in really weird places. For instance, like 2 nights ago I dreamt I was on a toilet in the back of a truck, pooping, while the car was driving and water kept splashing my butt. You are not alone. Well, the popular girl at my school tried to ruin the life of a really sweet girl because of boyfriend drama. When she realized people were standing up for the sweet girl instead, she lost her mind, accusing the other girl and her boyfriend of property damage, turning on anyone who didn't swear loyalty to her, turning people against one another, screaming at teachers. It was a mess. The nail in the coffin was when she confided to me and 2 others that she was planning to put laxatives in the pastries she baked for the class. Obviously I let people know, and she became completely ostracized. She left at the end of junior year, and senior year was the most chill year ever. I don't blame you for letting people know. You can't let that shit slide. He seduced a quiet girl in school. She was really soft spoken but super nice to everyone. Basically everyone's little sister. She was absolutely beloved by everyone in her year, and he was a year older. He was her first love, and he ducked her once, took her virginity, and then essentially abandoned her. She was devastated by it, and it broke her for the rest of the time she was at school. She went right into her shell and barely spoke to anyone. When he started bragging about what he did, everyone hated him. He even got beat up a few times because people were so angry at what he did. When people bond over hatred of another person. She was hired to dog sit for a neighbor when they went out of town. She decided to take advantage of the empty house and throw a party at the neighbor's house that got out of hand. Neighbor's daughter also went to the school and had to deal with a messed up house. Pretty big deal, and the popular girl never came back. Joined a gang, moved up the ranks, ordered the firebombing of a rival gang member's house. Dude wasn't home but his 4 little brothers and sisters were. None of them made it out of the house. He'll be in federal lockup until the day he dies. Man, that's ducked up. Not really outcasted, but a girl at my high school got cancer. I'm not sure exactly what type. I think it was on her lung, but I remember her talking about how it was pressing against her spine and that caused pain or motor problems or something like that. A lot of people started avoiding her after word got out. It wasn't really that they were trying to be cruel or didn't feel bad for her. It was more that it was an awkward social situation they had no experience with and it was much easier to evade than to confront head on. None of her close friends did this, fortunately, but lots of casual acquaintance great friends. I was an acquaintance great friend, but I was good friends with her best friend, so we still hung out some. That's not to say anything good about me. I'm actually super avoidant of difficult situations and totally understood why people were avoiding her. I've just never felt all that uncomfortable around people with terminal illnesses for some reason. He spilled some of the soapy water stuff from the bucket that holds the mop onto the floor, and the chill teacher that didn't care about whether you played games in class or not tripped and broke his right arm. So was he purposely trying to cause such an accident? I think it was a dare, and half of the school was egging him on, before they turned on him after math teacher broke arm. Somebody catfished him and was a short vid of him naked that went to a lot of people that most of us saw. Kinda felt bad for him but remembered he's an a-hole. Someone catfished the popular guy at my school and got him to do this crazy sexting roleplay where one of them was a gazelle and the other was a lion eating the gazelle. It was really graphic, but not in the way you would think. I was best friends with the most popular guy in school for a couple years back in middle school. He was great, but the rest of the popular kids, Man, they were all cooler than me in my opinion. But he saved me a seat at lunch every day and we had our own lame handshake and all that shit. But that whole group never felt like it really fit me, aside from him obviously. So one day at lunch I decided to sit with the nerdy kids who played Magic. Never really got my popularity back after that. And I think I hurt my friend's feelings because he was never the same to me after that. It was never my intention to hurt him. But that's not the sort of consequence kids anticipate. Never got a chance to reconnect with him unfortunately. Cancer is a bitch and it took him a few years later. We left him an open chair at high school graduation. On the plus side, I'm still friends with some of the nerdy kids and we're in our 30s now. Magic isn't my thing. But those nerdy kids were great. They taught me that it doesn't matter what others think of you if you love yourself. He got caught cheating on an econ final his senior year, and instead of taking responsibility he dragged 3 other people down with him who had apparently also cheated. All 4 got in trouble, only that dude lost all his friends. Popular girl did anal with a popular guy. Apparently he tore her a-hole and she shat all over his dong and had to go to the hospital. He told enough people about it that it got around and no one could think about her without thinking about her shitting on a guy's dong. She hardly became a pariah. But she did become poop girl. Nobody's opinion of the guy changed much, which in my opinion sucks because him telling people about it was kind of haha shitty. There was also a very hot girl who told everyone about how she let her dog lick peanut butter off her snatch, but she was already considered to be weird as duck even before that. Well, he wasn't the popular kid but he was a popular kid and it was a weird situation, in that not everyone agrees what happened. But apparently he sold some people some drugs and told them he had gotten it from a really trusted source and they were laced with something weird and 3 kids ended up in the hospital and one of them still has health issues because of it. Was a proper decent guy and footballer. He developed a persistent knee injury which cut his youth playing career short. He was never going to be pro but he was the best we had. He developed a dependency on pain relief and became a massive dong to people and to his GF. Thankfully she stuck with him and with her help and persistence he got clean and a proper sound guy missing since our childhood was returned to everyone's delight. Crack. He and his couple friends started smoking crack senior year of high school. They got quarantined to themselves. Ran into one of them a couple weeks ago. He kept trying to get me back to their apartments to do meth. Well, at least he's off the crack. He upgrades to crack plus. Most popular kid in my middle school was this big Samoan dude. Looked like he was 13 going on 25 years old. I remember he gained a lot of popularity when he serenaded this girl in class to ask her to the dance. He had music playing on his iPhone and he started belting out love songs while on bended knee. Later on that year he went from hero to zero when we found out he'd been molesting his sister. Drugs. You're the cool kid in 9th grade if you're smoking weed all the time. You're not the cool kid in 12th grade if you're addicted to heroin. Sent his girlfriend's naked pics to the whole school. Whoa, what a scumbag. The worst part of it was the excuse he gave. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to send it to everyone. Just a couple guys from the basketball team. He ended up switching schools. He was popular because he was a rebel that talked back to teachers and insulted them openly. He became an outcast because he made the teacher everyone loved cry. I had a guy in my class do this recently. Nobody really talks to him anymore. Killed 2 university students while drunk driving and then complained because she wouldn't be able to go to the bar and get drunk on her 18th birthday. How shallow and narcissistic do you have to be to pull this shit? Ducking hell. There's someone further up who killed a kid entirely by accident and went into self-imposed isolation because of the guilt. Pretty ducking shallow and narcissistic. Unfortunately, I know a girl from high school who hit a stroller while plastered. She had 2 ducking miracles happen to her that year. 1, the child wasn't in the stroller, the mom had pulled them out while talking to a friend, and 2, somehow the judge didn't hit her with the book and agreed to let her keep her license and skip jail with the condition of probation. No drinking and mandatory AA. She posted on Facebook, probation starts tomorrow, who wants to get plastered before I can't anymore. She didn't even make it 1 day. This kid in middle school used to talk shit to everyone. He had nice stuff his parents got him and everyone thought he was tough and could fight until one day he started on a special needs kid. Nobody had ever actually seen the popular kid fight. He just was excellent at intimidation. Now a lot of the special needs kids in my area weren't just students who were mentally challenged, but had overall learning disabilities. Many of those kids came from very tough homes, and the special needs kid who the popular kid messed with was an absolute savage. He grew up in a pretty tough part of town but was really a gentle giant. He could play football. He was muscular. He could do everything the regular students could do except speak properly, a minor speech impediment. The popular kid challenged him to a one-on-one fight and got his ass kicked by the special needs kid. I'm talking blood everywhere. His clothes got ripped. One of his sneakers landed like 10 feet away, and to top it all off, he even tried running away after the first few punches. The special needs kid grabbed him and pulled him back. It was a massacre. The popular kid not only lost all of his influence but didn't even have the guts to come back to school for like a week. If I ever saw instant karma, it would have had to have been on this day, because he was quiet as a mouse the rest of the years through high school. She tried to manipulate all her friends and pit them against each other with a bunch of catty lies. Well, that in combination with wearing her pageant sash and crown to school for like a week. All girls school.